Now, I read somewhere that the first time you appeared on the stage as part of the company, that there was some bald guy sitting and...
Right behind the conductor.
And he said...
And he said, my God, they got a nigga in there coming. And he jumped up. And the people just, they went crazy, shouting and screaming. You know when you read about when Stravinsky did Sacre de Breton on the theater, well, that's what happened. Can you imagine this all-white company at City Center, and here I come out in the leading role with Balanchine's wife at the end. And the audience just went crazy, and people saying, be quiet, shut up. And the thing that was so funny, I always thought I was very cool. Well, just before the performance, I said, oh, Mr. Balanchine, the pants, my pants don't fit, my pants don't fit. He said, Arthur, you got them on backwards. I was so nervous. And whenever I danced, I danced for my mom and for my people. I always do that mantle on my shoulder. And
explain that a little more.
Well, because that I was being the first, I was representing my people. So I had to go out there and be good. I couldn't make a mistake. And it was, I joined them November 1955. And parents called in and said, I do not want my child, my daughter, to dance with that black guy. Or that Negro was the word, not black. And Balanchine said, well, take your daughter out. We did television, I think it was Omnibus, and remember on the Sunday afternoon they had those shows, and we did Stars and Stripes. I was in the quarter ballet. I came out, I was in the corps. They said, George, come here. We've got to take, he said, no, if Mitchell doesn't dance, New York City Ballet doesn't dance. And at that same time, around Christmas, we did Nutcracker. And that's when the kids were trying to get into school, and Governor Faubus wouldn't let them in. Balanchine changed the choreography, and he did it like Sleeping Beauty. And instead of the cavalier, he had the leaders of the divertissement do this pas de cinq, a dance for five. And I was one of them, because I did coffee. And what is her name? She got so nervous when I came in. She said, hot chocolates, and this is the best way it tastes. She got all like this. And it was really coffee. And he re-choreographed it, and I won the hand of the Sugar Plum Fairy. And he walked by me and he said, I hope Governor Faubus is watching. I should also say my relationship with Mr. Balanchine was totally different than any other dancer in the company, because in the process of my wanting to learn, he told me, he said, you know, Arthur, I've always wanted 16 Nubian girls. I said, well, first of all, Mr. B, we don't use that word any longer. And I think that it's going to be hard to get 16 colored girls. I said, you must understand, Mr. B, we have to work. We don't have those kind of families that can put you through, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Now, in the meantime, now this is before my time, he had worked with Katherine Dunham, and they lived together. He did Cabin in the Sky. Vernon Duke, Katherine Dunham, George Balanchine lived together in one room and slept in one bed.
That's amazing. That's history right there.
And so
he wanted 16.
And,
this is a man of large appetites.
But he really, he had this, he just loved women, but he loved black women. And he always wanted 16 girls. Dr. Glory Van Scott could be prima ballerina of New York City Ballet today. his wife, Tanny, and I took her out to dinner to try to get her to become a ballet dancer. She said, now let me tell you something, I ain't putting my feet in shoes. She was in House of Flowers. He's always wanted that. But he could never get 16 girls.
What was it about the number 16?
Because a quarter ballet of 8, 12, 16.
Okay.
And
All
he
right.
wanted to do the quadroon balls. But he got the idea from Catherine Dunham. La Valse, the great ballet La Valse, the waltz, was Dunham's idea first.